Good morning, everybody. My name is Louise Golding from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody is well today. I'm just going to ramble a little bit and wait for our lovely friends to come into the room. So yeah, it's been an eventful week. The lovely Jane will be in the room with you today. So if you have any questions, she'll be there to lend a hand and everything. So thank you, Jane, for that. We're a little bit late to the party. We had a little bit of a technical issue, but now it looks like we are live, so that's good. Yay! Perfect. So, yeah. Oh, we got some lovely friends in the room. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Yeah, it was a bad week for me last week. I really wasn't very well. I had I think it was some sort of a flu or something. So yeah, it wasn't nice. I did try and come in on Tuesday, but I just wasn't well enough to stay. But yeah, I'm all better now. Thank you. I'm sorry if I let anybody down last week, but I know you had the lovely Barbara for an hour, so that's good. Lovely. So Jane's in the room now. So yeah, so this is going to be our first week of the new project that we're going to be doing with lovely Linda's floral gift plates, and they are really, really gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to that. And I took inspiration from a lovely card made by Frances Knott. So the design inspiration I thought was a really, really lovely way of using the plates as they come. I'll show you the plates here. So if anybody wanted to buy them and then go back and watch all the shows, they can when it comes down to. But we've got the. I'll show you some lovely cards as well from some of the design team, because it's always lovely to see others' inspiration. Yeah, there is a lot of viruses going around. My mum's not very well still. I'm not sure who caught it from who, but my mum, yeah, she's been struggling a little bit with the illness. She's had it longer than I have now, but she's starting to feel a little bit better. So yeah, feeling a lot better now. So yeah, ready to get raring to go into crafting with everybody. So that's good. Yes. So if I show you the plates quickly, and then I'll show you a few of our lovely design team members' cards, just to give everybody a little bit of an intro into, and then we'll get straight into the project after that. But yeah, so let me we'll move that because we don't want that. Not yet, anyway. Okay, so it's that one first. So these are the lovely plates that we're going to be using. I'm using 2 of these plates. So this was these originally came out for Linda's retreat, the 2-day retreat. I'll show you some of her cards in a little while, but they're so lovely. So they can be used as they are. You can interchange the bags, and then you've got these lovely ribbon frames around the outside as well. So that's 4515 is for the dahlia. Then we've got this one. I love this one because it's got like lots of little flowers in the flower pot. I love the flower pot as well. And this is a really lovely, I use the little twirls in this one as well, just doing the flowers as well. So, and I really love this as well. So this comes into play a few times in the card, which I'll show you in a minute. Then we got the lovely rose with the bouquet and everything. I love this. You can create some lovely, if you're lovely with your white work, this would look absolutely gorgeous with some white work as well. And then we've got the lovely tulips, and I'm going to be using this frame as well. So it's mostly these 2 plates that I'm going to be using. I think it is just these 2 plates I'm going to be using in the Groovi Tuesday project that we're going to be doing now. So those are the cards. What I'll show you now is just a little bit of inspiration. So we've got a lovely card from Gelascum. There we go. So you've got some lovely pencil work on the front, and Jill's used these lovely bows for the frame as well, which is really, really lovely. Love that. That's really beautiful. So yeah, that's Gelascum. And then we've got one from Josie Davidson with a lovely grid work around the outside. And if you take away the grid, just this little bit here, just your line art, a little bit of white work maybe if you wanted to, and a bit of colouring. Use your Pico die and you've got a lovely card. You don't have to have all of this beautiful lace work around the outside. It absolutely looks beautiful with it, but absolutely beautiful without too. So I've got a lovely one from Linda. So this was one of the ones that Linda did at the 2-day retreat back in August. So that's beautiful. A lovely bit of white work, and the colour is just beautiful. Really lovely. And then Karen Jackson. So using our basic grid, one of Josie's basic grids around the outside, and used it with a little bit of photo corners as well, which is really, really nice. But yeah, just without the grid work, this little bit here is so beautiful, isn't it? Got a lovely one from Frances Knott here. So again, very beautiful, the colour work and the frills. A little bit of lace tool work around the outside as well. And then we've got using some lovely rainbow parchment here as well. And just all Pico cut inside. And then another one from Linda. Lovely white work around the outside. So this was another project that was done at the retreat. I think they were working 2 projects alongside each other, which is so beautiful, isn't it? So, so lovely. And then we've got one from Glynis. This is lovely. The lovely tool work around the outside. Really beautiful. So yeah, and then this one has a little frosted floral kind of look. This is Carol Baker's. Very, very muted colours. It looks so beautiful. And another one from Carol. This is using the lovely orange squash parchment around the outside for some grid work. And then some really delicate colours inside there. And lastly, I thought I'd just show you, this is the inspiration that I took, was the design idea, the lovely flowers in each corner and then this lovely bow. So I thought it was important just to show a few cards and then show the lovely design that I was taking my inspiration from, just using the lovely bow and the 2 flowers. So yeah, so that's what I thought I would show. So if I bring in the card that we're going to be starting, here we go. So this is our project for the next few weeks. So today I'm just going to start with the the line art. We'll also put this one in, but off of the main project, because this is kind of, I don't know if you can see, if I take it up a little bit, I've just Pico cut a little bit here and kind of slotted this in, so you can kind of see it's behind, and then once you put it over you can't see it because it's, you know, it's tool work and it's white, it looks more white, so you can't see that little bit behind, but it's just a little bit of an extra detail. I've just kind of just perforated a little bit, slotted it in, stuck it down with some little tape, and then you've got a little bit of something to play with. So yes, so that's what we're going to start, and a little bit of colouring. I've coloured on the back with the pergoliners. We're just going to be doing a little bit of you know, 2-tone kind of colouring. So we're not going to, you know, do expert colouring, but just enough just to just to have, you know, we can blend a few colours on the back and everything. So just learning a little bit of colouring as we're going along. But this here is just using the butterfly tool around the outside. So a couple of layers of it, and then the semicircle as well. So I'll be going through this and really kind of just taking it stage by stage. So it looks a little bit complicated when you first look at it, but once you break it down, it's not as complicated as what you think. So we will be doing that. So first of all, what I thought I'd start off with is I'm going to bring in my, I'll bring in the, if you didn't know yet, I just printed off like a little ingredients list. So if you wanted to take a screenshot, if you didn't see 2 weeks ago, I posted this on the hour, so you can have a little screenshot. And if you just wanted to gather all your ingredients at some point, if you wanted to follow along. So first things first, I was going to bring in this plate, and I've just used the second from the outside to just, with a white pencil and a ruler, because I don't want the line showing. So I don't want to actually, with my number 1 or 2 tool, create a line. Because you don't want to see any line art here. So I'm just going to use a white pencil and a ruler just to kind of frame it. So I'm going to bring in my A4 parchment. There we go. And so all I'm going to do is, I've got my ruler and my B1 pencil. First of all, what I'm just going to do is just going to use my tumble dry sheet to lubricate the parchment so it doesn't cut, and I'm going to be using it both sides because I'm going to be perforating and embossing, so just best just to do it 2 sides. And I usually end up doing that as just a rule of thumb, whether I'm doing that or not, just because it's like a habit now. So I'm just going to bring in this. So all I need to really do is I'm just going to pencil in. Let me just bring that down so you can see. I'm just going to pencil in 4 corners. Just loosely there. I don't know if you can, you can kind of see. So just very, very lightly. It's just an idea just to have the frame, because then you can place your flowers where you want it. Hold on 1 second. I didn't bring my raised pencil. I was just thinking I might want to do it a little bit further away from, a little bit further away from, I don't want to go too close to here. Kind of want to go a little bit more central. There we go. So ignore the 4 dots I did before. There we go. That's better. I'll rub that out later anyway. But you want them a bit more central. I've made the dots bigger so I know where I'm kind of going. There we go. So it's only just light, enough for you to see, really. And this is a good idea if you want to do some tool work but not actually have the line showing. You don't always want the line showing when you're going to be using tool work on the outside. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So the size of the square, I've used this as just a marker, but it is 17.5 centimetres square, if that helps. Yeah, 17.5 centimetres, and that's the same size as the second square from the inside on the nested scallops, nested extension scallop square. Okay, so we've got our square. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the line art now. So I'm going to bring in my plate mate. There we go. And I'm going to be using the flower pot. Here we go. Ooh. So this is still the front. So because I've done this on the front, I'm going to turn it over. And so the white pencil that I've marked is on the front, because what's going to happen is once I've done my tool work, I can rub it out. But if I leave it on the back, you're going to have the perforation sticking out that side. So so it's yeah, you don't want to, you won't be able to rub it out when you've perforated because of the perforation holes. So now we're on the back after I've done the white line, and we're just going to use our number 1 and 2 tool, or you can use your 1mm perforating pergamano tool. And then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to, so you can see where you're going. So I'm kind of just there you go, just kind of marking it so it's, you want it a little bit further away, and we're not doing this circle here or the little bow or that bit there, but you want it a little bit further away from your white line, and you can create this white line as hard as you want so you can see it a bit better. This is quite light, so it's just, I can just rub it out easily. But if you struggle to see, you can do your line a bit whiter. So yeah, so you want to create a little bit of a gap between your white line and here, because some of the tool work is actually going to be inside the white line. So you want to make sure that you have some space. There we go. So I'm just lining it up just so it's in the corner, and you can choose what you want to put in or not want to put in. What's the size in inches? I don't know is the answer to that, because it doesn't have inches on. But it's 2.5 centimetres in an inch, and it's 17.5 centimetres. So if somebody could work that out, my brain's not working that well today for mathematics. Right, I'm just going to use my Groovi sticker tabs. There we go. It's it was a bit chilly this morning. I put on my cardigan, but I think I might need to take it off now. It gets a little bit warm in the studio, but definitely a nip in the air now. I've definitely noticed that. But yeah, it was an awful illness what I had last week. Not really sure what it was. It felt like a flu. But then again, like I have fibromyalgia, so I think sometimes certain illnesses probably feel a bit, I think it aggravates the fibromyalgia, so it feels worse than what it might be, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, it wasn't very, very nice. I had fevers and chills, and I was in so much pain as well. It wasn't nice at all. It was not nice. But I'm better now. A lot better. But thank you for all your lovely well wishes. It makes me made me feel really, really good last week, seeing the lovely messages. Because I don't like letting anybody down. But I don't think you would have got a very I don't think I would have been that with it enough to. I did try. Tried my hardest. But I loved watching the show yesterday, the Shack show with Barb last night. I absolutely love learning anything about Native Americans. It's a beautiful, beautiful culture. When I was listening to Barbara, actually, I realised, obviously I was a kid in the 90s and everything. One of my favourite films was Pocahontas. And I am going over with my number 2, and then I'm going to go over with my number 1. I'm just going to do everything with a number 2 and then go in with a number 1. But yeah, I just realised after listening to Barbara yesterday, I realised Pocahontas, the cartoon, she has a turquoise necklace around her neck. And I only just realised that actually when Barbara was talking about turquoise. But I was actually reading up on it last night, and turquoise was actually used in ancient Egypt as well. It was a stone where they honoured their goddess Hathor. So I thought that was interesting. I like learning different things about different civilizations and different cultures. You never stop learning about anything. Art, history, everything really. You never stop learning. They also use it in Tibet as well, turquoise. Yeah, they use it to honour their deities as well in Tibet. And funny enough, because I was researching like turquoise, and obviously the Native Americans, they use it a lot for spiritual and it's their protection stone and everything like that. But it's it became quite popular in the 1800s as well, because Queen Victoria, she gave turquoise brooches to her wedding party when she married Prince Albert. So that was another interesting little fact that I learned. Always learning. Always very important to learn, I think. And just... How many of you like... I actually kind of quite enjoy creating compositions of artwork. You know, kind of like, you know, deciding where everything's going to go. And some of the time when I'm creating my pieces of art, sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just... I just kind of experiment, and if it works, it works. That's great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then you can try something else. I think it's always important to try different things and experiment and have that what if in mind when you're when you're trying things. Because I do that sometimes. I'll think, oh, I wonder if this will work. What if that works, and what if that doesn't? And you kind of just experiment. Always good to experiment, I think. Okay, so just working my way around. Got a show at 2 p.m. today. So and we're going to be using the lovely Tina Cox's sampler plate, the one that Barbara was showing yesterday. We're going to be showing that at 2 p.m, the Groovi side of things. So it'd be nice to have a good delve into have a good dive into all the lovely inspiration from the design team. It's lovely that we have Clarity TV, because we can just enjoy the inspiration a lot, you know. I'll do a little demo just to show you, because we're going to be showing the designer parchment. So it's lovely to. So I'll show you that. So that's the Rainbow River parchment I'll show later on. So yeah, so that's at 2 p.m. today. So another hour with our friends today, so that'll be fun. Always good. I was just about to put the flower pot in then, almost. I almost started with the flower pot. And then realised, nope, you don't have a flower pot in this card. You're just using the flowers. So I've left this flower off, only because it will be in the way of the tool work. But you can put it in if you wanted to. You could move it in a little bit more, so you could forget about this bit and then just push the flower in a little bit more into the gap, which I might do in a minute actually. That could be a good idea, just so that you've got that, because there is a little bit of a gap here. So I might move the parchment a little bit and put that in. So I've gone around with my number 2. I'm just going to go over with my number 1, because we're going to be colouring on the back. So I'm just going to have the crisp line art in. Now I've done with the number 2, it won't take too long to go in with my number 1 and just crisp everything up. If you wanted to just go straight in with the number 1, you can. It's just something I did out of habit when I first started to learn. And if it helps for you to do flower by flower, so you know where you've done your number 1 and where you haven't. It's nice to be doing some parchment again. Didn't get a chance really to do much of anything last week. I spent most of my time getting out from under the blanket or duvet, then putting myself back in. Had a fever, then had a chill. My body didn't really know what to do last week. These are nice big leaves. I was watching an interesting, well, I started to watch this series. I think it was called Monsters, and it was a program about the Menendez brothers. Because I was just interested, because I get interested by those sort of things because I want to know what makes human brains tick. I find it's very interesting, learning about certain people and why they do things. I did psychology at A level, and I always found things like that interesting. So it was just, I mean, we've only watched a couple of episodes. It's quite interesting. I think there's another one on starting Friday. It's another Monsters program, but it's about Ed Gein. So I mean, my mum likes watching things like that. She always gets interested in why people do certain things. You do get kind of sometimes interested in what makes people tick, why people do what they do, why they think they have the right to do what they do as well. It's beyond me. Here we go. So who actually likes parchment, as well as who's also a stamper, or who likes doing like mixed media and things like that? So I've just turned this round, and I'm doing the same thing in the opposite corner. So same thing as I did in the first corner. So we'll have 2 full corners of lovely flowers. If you wanted to, whoever's for example, if someone's done the online colouring course, I've seen some beautiful artwork of our lovely students who were taking part in the course. So if you wanted to, you don't have to use the tool. You could use white pencil, like how we did in our in the third module, and do some colouring without line art. That would look nice as well. So just creating the white pencil and then taking part in this lovely project, but create it the third module style, you know, the pergola A and the B's together. Put everything that you learnt from the module 3 into practice on this project if you wanted to. It'd be interesting to see if anybody wanted to. I mean, once you've done all of these flowers, I think you'll be a dab hand at the technique. But yeah, so we are very, very, very soon going to be launching the picot cutting, the perforating and picot cutting course. I haven't got too long to wait on that one, actually. It is imminent. Look forward to that one as well. All of them have been really fun. Like, everybody's enjoyed them. It's been really lovely. You know, a few hours afternoon crafting with all your clarity friends. It's always a good way to spend an afternoon, I find. There's so much to learn in parchment. and also any kind of art. I love learning. I think any kind of learning is important for me to progress as in different techniques, and then I like to see if I can transfer something from a course that I've learned about watercoloring or acrylics or gouache, and learning all of the different techniques used in all of those, and moving them into parchment. So I think it's always important to go on courses and learn things. I'm always learning. It's like Barbara, when she first started to create her beautiful pottery, she went to classes to learn how to create all of the beautiful art that you see on the open days when she comes in with all of her beautiful pottery makes. It's all learnt from going to a course, whether it's online or in person. There's so many things out there to learn. It's like we've got our nice workshops after the open day with Barbara and Linda. They're always really, really, really good to, if you can go to a workshop in person, that's great. But the ones online where you can take part all over the world, that's the amazing thing about the internet, is that it brings people closer together. It means that people can learn new things and new techniques. And just keeping on with the leaves. This is kind of something that you could do in front of the telly sometimes, isn't it? It's like sometimes I have a little a tray where I just get some of my parchment, get some my tools, and just design things while I'm watching a film with Mum or something. Mum's been trying to get me into horror season, watching a horror, because I must admit I've never really been overly keen on horrors ever since I was younger. When I was a little girl, my grandma and I were watching a film. It was called The Ring, and I was only young, but Grandma fell asleep while watching it, and I was just left watching this film utterly scared out of my wits. And since then, I'd never really watched any horrors. So Mum's been trying to get me watching a few horror movies. I think I don't like jumping. I think that's why also I don't particularly like them, is because I don't like jumping, whether it's self-inflicted by watching a film or somebody actually making me jump. I don't like it. And I don't really like the gore either. I mean, I know some things are put there to make you jump, and it's the music sometimes that can make you jump. So I thought, I'll show Willing, because Mum likes her horror movies and everything. So I thought, okay, I'll try. I'll put my big girl pants on and try one. I mean, it wasn't too bad, the one I watched. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't overly scary. I think it was something to do with, I think it was the Enfield haunting. Yeah, it was the Enfield haunting. Because I thought, oh, I'll watch that because it's supposed to be, you know, it supposedly happened in England. And so I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. It wasn't too bad. I jumped in a few spaces, but yeah, it wasn't overly as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And I thought, okay, I'll watch that because obviously it has happened, you know, supposedly. Yeah, I'm the same. So it's a soft horror, I suppose. It's not like overly gory. I would never sit down and watch something like Saw or Chainsaw Massacre or something like that. I wouldn't watch anything like that. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I haven't watched The Exorcist. Not sure about that. I'm more of a historical drama kind of girl. I like psychological things, detective things and things like that. I mean, when I was a child, I loved watching things like Anne of Green Gables and Road to Avonlea and things like that as well. They were always really nice to watch. Okay, so I'm nearly done. Just got to do the number 1 line art of the leaves. You can kind of get carried away with talking sometimes, can't you? It's just nice to spend some time crafting sometimes, isn't it? There we go. Maybe that one. Yeah, I did buy, I thought I'll have a go with some watercolouring and everything. So I bought we've got a little tin of Daler-Rowney watercolour. It's like a little travel kit, which is really nice because all you need to do is take one of your like little journals and take some of that with a little pot. You can get like these little, I think it's a Faber-Castell one actually. It's kind of like a pot, but it collapses. So you can take that, and if you've got a little bottle of water with you or something, you can take that and sketch wherever. Sketch and do some watercolouring. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to move that up, and I thought I'm just going to move this flower a little bit further in. I'm just going to quickly put that one. So instead of it being poking out too far, I've just poked it back in. I thought otherwise there's a gap there. I'm going to do it to this side as well. Looks like little bunny ears. There we go. So those are our two, and you can position it however you want. If you wanted them this way, I've put them so the card's that way, but I think it also looks nice that way. It's up to you. You can put them however however you like. So I'm just going to move over now to this plate here, and I'm going to use the bow. So I'm just going to bring this in the right way. There we go. So I'm just lining it up so that I've got the ribbon about there. So it's a little bit, it's the same kind of distance between the top and the side. And I kind of want them to kind of easily just work into the flowers. So about there, I think. So using my number 2, and go back in with my number 1 after that. So we should be able to get the line art for everything done today, and then we can get on to something else. Colouring, I think. I feel it resisting a little bit, so I'm just going to use a bit more of my tumble dryer sheet. I'm just going to go in with my number 1 again. It was a bit chilly this morning when I first got up. You can definitely tell it's autumn. It's got that autumnal chill in the air. Mum's been working rapid fire during the... She'll go out occasionally when she's feeling okay, and she'll go out and pick some of the leaves because they're all falling now. And she's been picking them and drying them for the rabbits and the guinea pigs. There's certain leaves that they can eat that's in our garden. So Mum kind of researched it, and so nothing goes to waste, you know. Instead of, I mean, we have a lot of trees and bushes in the garden, so they absolutely love it. They know that you're going towards the tree or a bush to pick them some leaves. So they get very, very excited. You can hear them squeaking. There you go. So just positioning it again. So we've got our bow then. Comes together quickly once you start getting into it. So I've just read Jane's message. Yes, it was called The Conjuring. I think there's about 6, isn't there, in the series? There's The Conjuring 1 and 2, and then it goes into Annabelle, and then The Nun. But The Conjuring was quite good. I like the actors in it. They were good. They weren't too silly. You know, in horrors you usually get a silly person that decides it's going to be a good idea to go somewhere they shouldn't, and then you're kind of like saying to the telly, well, you know, you're not gonna last long. Yeah, whatever I had last week wasn't nice because I've never had that much time off of work before. It's kind of like every time I thought, oh, okay, I'm not feeling too bad. By the time I kind of was thinking about getting up and out the house, I felt ill again. There we go. So that's that bit. There we go. We got our frame. Okay, so now, as you can see in this project here, I've created a little circle with a little flower inside. That's just using the this here actually, and that's the same thing as what we're going to be using for the little tag as well. So I'm just going to put this tag to, I don't need that anymore, so I'll take that one out. I'm just going to create this tag. Right, so I'm just going to get my sticker tab and just place that down just to keep it still. I'm just going to create, I'm just going to do the line art for the little bow. There we go. And just my parchment moved a little bit when I was, happens sometimes. So I'm just going over, just wiggling it and going over with the number 1. There we go. So we've got a little tag with our bow. So we don't need to worry about doing, oh, we do need to worry about doing the writing. I've put it in there. That's not where the flower is. The flower is in the other one. So I'm just going to go back in with my writing. I'm just going in with my number 1 straight away with this one, just because you want it as crisp as possible because the writing's quite small. Go a little cross. So I hope you can come back at 2 o'clock. We're going to be doing Tina's A4 plates, the new ones. They're really, really nice. Which way are we going? We're going this way, aren't we? This way, so we want that in there. So I'm just going to put the little circle here. No, I didn't want to do that. Never mind, we'll work it out. And I'm just turning it around so I can just finish off the circle. So don't do the scallop like I've done. I'll work it in somehow. But I did the scallop because I got carried away. But actually what I've done on here is I've used the butterfly tool again. I mean, there is like little scallop marks there, but it doesn't matter. We'll work around it. Just don't do what I've done It looks like a little snowman with a nose on or something, or a little hat. Looks like a bauble now. But we'll work it in. It'll be fine. But just don't do that what I've done. Okay, so we've done our little circle. So now we wanted a flower. So I think what I did was, because there's not, I wanted to use a smallish flower. So I think this flower I used inside, but obviously it's cut off here. So we're going to work around that. Just do that one quickly. And we've got our little star inside, so that's fine. Then what I just did was I just turned it round, matched it up, and then you can finish off with the 2 petals. So all you start off with is you start off with these 4 petals there, and then you don't do the bottom 2 petals, and you just turn it round and line up the 4 bottom petals, and then you can do the last 2. And that's how you can get your nice so yeah, so we've got our little, what have we got here? Here we are. Let me move that out of the way. So what we've done so far, let's have a look. Where have we travelled? There we go. So we did our little white line. So you can, that's a good way of kind of framing everything in, so you know where everything's going and it's not going too far one way or too far the other. We've done our little circle inside. Bring this in. So we've also, our little bit here, I've put that there, and then what we'll do later on is we'll use some tool work and just use it as like a little ribbon. So what you can do actually quickly is, just so you kind of have a rough estimate, because I haven't done any line art on the ribbon either. So what you can do is just just create 2 lines, just thin lines there, with your ruler. I'll go up a bit further up. There we go, because you want to create your tool work. But if you can have 2 lines to work against, because with the ribbon up here, you know, I've used a semicircle, and then we did a little bit of tool work inside. So it's just a way of guiding where your tool can go. So because I haven't created any lines like with the tools. So yes, so that's where we are. So you've got choices. You can use it. I think it looks quite nice that way actually. Yeah, do you know what, last time we've done a card this way, so I think this time I'm going to try and go this way. Kind of looks nice like that too. So you've got choices. I think it looks quite nice that way too. Which way do you think? Do you like it that way or that way? It's just opposite, isn't it? But it still looks nice, whichever way you put it. So yeah, so we've got a little tool. We've got a little we've got a little circle with a flower inside. We've got a little tag on the outside, which we can cut out later on down the road. So inside, and then that's going to obviously dangle from up here. And then we can just put a little bit of a rub on and everything near the end and everything. But so we have our initial line art done, so that's great. So next week we can have some fun and do some colouring with our pergoliners. So I'm going to use the beads, and you can also use A's. If you're not going to be blending with them, you can just use them as colouring pencils, which I have done a little bit. Some of the some of the flowers here I have blended with Dorse oil and a blending pen, but some I've just coloured on the front, and a little bit on the blue on here. I've coloured a little bit on the front as well. But you can use, if you're not going to blend, you can use your A's and your B's. But yeah, so we have options. So yes, so next week we'll do some colouring, which will be fun. I like colouring. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming to the Groovi Tuesday. I've had some great fun with the line art, so hopefully everybody who's having a little craft along with me, that's where we've kind of ended up. I think it's a really lovely design, and obviously I took the inspiration from Francis's knot design, which is obviously really beautiful. But I really like that effect. So you know you've got different ways of using it. So you could use it with the flower pot, you can use it without, which is really nice. So thank you very much, Jane, for keeping everyone company in the chat and making sure everybody's got links and everything. Thank you so much. And also 2 p.m. we are going to be having a nice crafty hour. Just you and me. We're going to have a nice crafty hour. We're going to be I'm going to be showing you the plates. I'll be showing you the lovely design teamwork. We'll have a good old look at that, and I might just show you a little demo using the Rainbow River parchment as well. So we'll have a little bit of a crafty time this at 2 p.m. So I hope you can join me, and I will see you at 2 p.m. Take care, everyone.